Hi, I'm Josh Krupp. Welcome to the Pioneer Spotlight, where each week we feature a Point Park Pioneer team, athlete, or coach. And a friend of the program rejoins us today. Her name is Anna Shields. You might have read about her in the headlines in the last few months, the last couple of years. She has stolen the show with the Point Park Track and Field and Cross Country programs. Recently, she was named the Indoor Track and Field Athlete of the Year. Anna, thank you so much for coming back. And congratulations on a fantastic run in indoor season. Let's start with the Indoor National Championships, winning the mile. What an exciting race that was. Take us through the mile and tell the viewers how it all kind of played out.
Well, I was probably more hyped up for a race than I've ever been.
That's your forte, right? That's your favorite?
Yeah, the mile is my favorite race. And last year I went in with the leading time from the season, but I did get second. And I was passed in the last 60 meters by Amina Alawara, who was returning as the defending champion. And I saw her run 2 days earlier in the distance medley relay, and she absolutely just destroyed the field. And so I saw she was fit and she was ready to race, and I was excited to face her. I thought it would be a good show off, and but I thought I had a good time in me, and luckily I was able to pull it out.
And she was undefeated in national championships prior to that, an unbelievable runner, and the race wasn't really close. What, 8 seconds?
Right.
So that race, similar to the 1,000, you weren't in first the whole time in that. Tell the viewers how you came back and what your strategy was pacing that race.
In the mile or the 1,000?
The 1,000.
The 1,000?
Switch gears to that.
Okay, yeah. In the 1,000, I got boxed in when we started because runners started on the waterfall and then they cut right in on the turn, so I was kind of stuck on the inside. And so coach was telling me my splits, but I had to just go with the pack until there was an opening at about 400 meters when I got out. And unfortunately, the first 400 meters was pretty slow. It was more my mile pace, so even though I was going for like a 2:45, which would have been the record, I missed it by a little bit, and I think the first 400 was just probably a part of that. But I'm happy that I could still turn it on at the end like that, so that felt good.
In cross-country season, you earned All-American status, but you weren't quite satisfied. What was the transition like from cross-country to indoor track and field, now that you're an All-American again, but this time a national champion twice?
Well, for cross-country, the transition was that I was actually just a little bit overtrained, where I got overly excited about how I was doing and wanted to just do more things all at once, and I kind of had those dead legs at the end of the season. So from cross-country nationals to the first meet of indoor, I actually just took some time off where I didn't run at all, didn't do anything, rested, and slowly worked up into regular training again, and that seemed to work really well as far as like recovering and transitioning to a new season.
And now another transition to another new season. Outdoor is a completely different animal. What's the transition like with a few more weeks here in between indoor and outdoor, with the season quickly approaching next weekend?
Oh, goodness, is it that soon?
It's right around the corner, yeah.
Wow, yeah. Well, I went back to base training for a little bit of just doing mileage, staying away from some track workouts for just a week or so, but we're starting up this Thursday again with track workouts, so that'll get me ready for the faster races. But I also think I'm going to give the 5K a shot at the first meet, so we'll see how that goes.
And so you qualified in more events for nationals in indoor than just the mile and the 1,000. How did you decide? Did you make the decision, first of all, to go in those two events, and did you want to try and do the others, or did you just kind of want to save it for those two events?
It was something that I talked about with Coach Parsley, but it really just made the most sense to go for those events where the rest was, because the 800 and the 600, which I also qualified in, those were in between those two races, so it just made sense to pick the bookends there. And I also ran the 4x4, which our 4x4 did really well, so that was also very exciting on the first day that we were there.
And the 4x4, the distance medley, a lot of teammates were at this event. What did it mean to you to have so much support and so many people rallying behind you while you were racing to national championships?
It was definitely a different feel than any other national championship, any other track national championship where it's only been a few people. It felt like Point Park had a presence at the meet, like in the crowd, where, you know, a lot of the other teams have big groups going, and it felt like, oh, we've got our squad now, you know, Point Park is representing here, and so that felt good, you know, everyone just seeing the stripes, like, you know, seeing our team and our presence on the national stage, I think was just really exciting and good for the school too.
And putting Point Park on the map, finally, you've achieved so much in such a short amount of time, with maybe one more year to go in cross, indoor and outdoor. Well, 2 with outdoor now. So what's next for you? Where do your goals go from here?
Well, I hope that when I graduate, I'll be able to pursue a professional contract. It's obviously really difficult to become a pro runner, and anything could happen with injuries, but you know, that's why it's a big dream. Is it's hard to achieve, but I'm gonna just keep chasing it. And the Olympic trials are in 2020, and qualifying to run there would be a lifetime goal. And so I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying I'm going to pursue that and keep chasing it, keep chasing better.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck in all of those pursuits and in outdoor season. Be sure to follow us online at pointparksports.com and on social media at Point Park Sports to get all the updates from Anna Shields and the rest of the Point Park men's and women's cross country, track and field, indoor and outdoor programs. Outdoor season's right around the corner, and we're glad that we could talk to Anna before she gets going with that. Thank you so much for racing down here and talking with us for a few moments.
Thank you for having me, Josh.